Easter, and welcome into the GCU Arena for the revenge matchup of the Bruins of University of California, Los Angeles against your Grand Canyon University Antelopes. I am Dinah Johnson alongside Marley Thompson, the voices behind today's volleyball action. Marley, the Lopes took on the Bruins last night. They started off strong in the first two sets, but just couldn't stop the bleeding after that.
GCU came out strong in the first two sets, as you said, sending set one to surpass the 25-point mark once again. Unfortunately, UCLA turned up the fire, taking sets 3 and 4, forcing a fifth set. GCU fell to UCLA 11-15, but GCU gave UCLA a run for their money. On the Lopes side, the top leaders were number 5, Camden Gianni, and number 19, Hugo Fisher. Gianni had 18 kills, 3 digs, 1 ace, 1 block, and Fisher was right behind Gianni with 14 kills, along with 4 digs, 2 aces, and 2 blocks. For UCLA leaders, it was an outstanding brother dynamic duo.
Yeah, Marley, how about those Coburn brothers? They are just so fun to watch. Sam Coburn finished last night with an astounding 48 assists, helping his brother Kevin, who was a late substitution in last night's matchup. He had about 16 kills, so that's pretty great. Well, we're gonna go ahead and send you guys to a quick break. You're watching men's volleyball right here on GCU TV.
Grand Canyon University, a Christian university, is one of the largest and fastest growing universities in the country. GCU offers 270 dynamic academic programs with modern apartment-style living, classrooms, labs, restaurants, and more. Located in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona, GCU's vibrant community and expansive campus is ranked top 20 for best college campuses in America. My university integrates the free market system with a welcoming Christian worldview perspective into its academic programs and throughout campus life, so you can put your faith into action and help transform communities. GCU campus students received over $157 million in scholarships in 2020, and many students attend GCU for less than the cost of a state university. Visit gcu.edu/myoffer to see the scholarships you qualify for. Admissible high school seniors can schedule a free visit from anywhere in the country. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu/myoffer.
Well, first serve is just around the corner on this eve of Easter. Excited to have Easter tomorrow, spend time with the family. How about you, Marley? Any plans for Easter?
I am actually going to go to a family friends dinner. I think I'm going to stay inside majority of the time, however, because it is going to be 99 degrees here in Phoenix, Arizona. But we're going to watch a church service, eat some good food, and enjoy some good company.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. We're going to go ahead and send you down for the Talking Stick Resort starting lineups, prayer, and national anthem. Don't be afraid, we'll be right back here.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the beautiful GCU Arena for this afternoon's Mountain Pacific Sports Federation men's volleyball matchup between the Bruins of UCLA and your Grand Canyon University Antelopes. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you all please rise if you are able. Gentlemen, please remove your caps as we begin this afternoon's competition with the word of prayer. Today's prayer is led by Megan Fry, a junior majoring in pre-med and a GCU cheerleader.
Let's pray. God, we thank you so much for the opportunity to come together today and play this game. We pray that you lay a hand of protection over all the players, coaches, refs, and fans. We pray that everything we do here will glorify your name, and amen.
Thank you, Megan. Fans, please remain standing as we now honor America with a playing of the national anthem. The Star-Spangled Banner will be performed this afternoon by our very own Thundering Herd Pep Band under the direction of the Professor, Dr. Paul Cook, and today his associate, Nate Swift. Thank you. And now let's meet the starting lineups for this afternoon's contest. First of all, for the Bruins of UCLA. At opposite, a 6'8 sophomore, number 3, Cole Katransky. The liberos, a 6'2 junior, number 4, Cole Pender. Setters, a 6'3 senior, number 5, Sam Cobrin. At middle blocker, a 6'9 junior, number 7, Ian Parrish. At outside hitter, a 6'6 sophomore, number 12, Alex Knight. Middle blocker, a 6'7 freshman, number 13, Merrick McHenry. And at outside hitter, a 6'4 senior, number 23, Austin Matautia. The Bruins are 12-4 on the season, 12-4 in Mountain Pacific Sports Federation play, currently ranked number 6 in the nation, under the direction of head coach John Sparrow. Assistant coaches John Hawks and Spencer McLaughlin. Assistant coach, Steve Smith. Graduate assistant, Andrew McCall. Special assistant to the head coach, Ethan Rucker. And leading the Lopes, head coach, Matt Worley. Officiating this afternoon's contest, on the ladder, the Godfather, Earl Capps. On the floor, Russell Combs. Line judges, Elvin has not left the building, Ollie. Inlands Johnson. And as always, providing the in-game entertainment, DJ, Dylan Martinez. The Thundering Herds Pep Band. The GCU cheerleaders. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have not done so,
for UCLA in the blue, we got number 3, Cole Kaczynski, number 4, Cole Pender, number 5, Sam Coburn, number 7, Ian Parrish, number 12, Alex Knight, number 13, Merrick McHenry, number 14, Cole Power, and number 23, Austin Matotia. For your Grand Canyon University Antelopes in white, we have number 5, Camden Gianni, number 6, Avery Enriquez, number 8, Heath Hughes, number 10, Ian McLean, number 11, Christian Janke, number 13, Cole Udall, number 19, Hugo Fisher, and number 23, Kyle Thompson. Camden Gianni kicks off the first serve with an error.
And errors is not how you want to start off against this high energy team. Last night, errors was way above UCLA, so they need to limit that if they want to stay in this game, even though that was just the first one. Errors are going to count in the end.
Coburn sends that one out the back line. 2 service errors already, 2 for 2 out of the first 2 points. McLean. And outside, Kaczynski getting blocked again, kept in play. Matotia into the block and out of bounds. Point goes to UCLA, and they pull ahead by 1. UCLA 2 to GCU 1.
Although that point went to UCLA, watch the front blockers, the middle blockers down there, especially Hugo Fisher and Kyle Thompson. They do a great job of getting up there and shutting them down.
And Gianni with a massive back row attack. Knots it up at 2.
And although their errors last night were not fairly close, every other section was relatively close in stats-wise, and that's what they need to do again to possibly send it to 5 sets again.
Merrick McHenry back to serve. UCLA using the Lopes block to their advantage on that last play. Hughes, Janke into the block, in play. UCLA goes up by 2, it is 2 to 4.
And number 7 on UCLA team, Ian Parrish, had part in that block right there for that point, and I actually wrote down for him last night, Block City, because that is what he has an effect of.
Yeah, he played other sports in high school. He was a football player.
Yeah, he definitely has that body type. We were watching him warm up, doing little football jukes and everything, and again, his grandfather, who was Dick Butkus, world-renowned person, played for the Chicago Bears. So definitely in the blood, that's for sure.
Gianni with the hitting error. And UCLA starting to pull ahead in this first set. McHenry. Thompson wide, no touch off the block.
You know, last night, although GCU lost, it was not like they lost their momentum, because their momentum was always there. Everyone was on their feet. Everything was blasting. So the boys just need to come out there with that same energy and continue to stay motivated as well. If they got to stay motivated, they also got to stick to the 3 keys of the game.
Yeah, Marley, what are those Sanderson Ford 3 keys to the game?
Well, an Easter spirit, no surprise in this egg. Coach Worley, as we talked to him earlier at the beginning of the season, we mentioned how awesome it was that they beat UCLA for the first time last year, and he does not want that to be a surprise to teams, to fans, or to anyone. They want that to be a common thing and to scare other teams to show that they can compete. Number 3, rise and shine. The Lobes need to rise up and outshine UCLA. There needs to be someone on the team that steps up in a big way if they want to shut down this bright UCLA team. And then number 3, leap, hop, and set. Again, that's in the Easter spirit. I feel like that's a little bit what they do out there on the court. Leap, hop, and step, but all of this needs to be controlled, and they need to be focused, and they just need to be sharp and just have the eye on the prize.
Yeah, their mental game is a big part of it. And I mean, volleyball in general is a big mental game. I've heard a lot of coaches tell me in my past where it's 20% your athleticism and 80% your mental capacity, and just staying in the game, in present, when you get on dry spells like this.
And communication.
Yeah, that's another big one. McHenry. Heath, back row. Camden Gianni, timing was off there. Parrish off the block and out of bounds. Bruins stay in possession. It's 2-8.
Not like set 1 that we witnessed yesterday, where that one actually went past 25 points, because again, you have to win a set by 2 points.
Not as many points as that one BYU game where we set that record. Oh, man.
45-43, yes. But GCU came away with the win, and it was Christian Jenke to seal the deal for us.
Oh, that was such a good set.
And in the record book, so.
Yeah. Jenke at the back line. Sends that one wide. Lopes really struggling in the service department. Kaczynski. Sets the ball in play. Sends that one out of bounds. Short-lived play. Thompson, he's back to serve. He's a really consistent server. He's got a nice jump float.
And he was most improved player last year. We were talking about how Hugo Fisher and Kyle Thompson just have done an amazing job developing their skills.
They're gonna call a double on Heath Hughes, trying to keep that one. Hugo Fisher was a little late picking that ball up. Looked like he was gonna send it into the net, but Hughes was there to pop it over. Ref saw a double, so point goes to UCLA. It's 4-10. Gianni off the top of the block and out of bounds. Out of touching distance for UCLA. Point goes to GCU. It's 5-10. Hughes. Back row, Alex Knight. Matotia. He's gonna come away with the point there. Really using the Lopes block to his advantage.
Matotia is such a huge factor for UCLA. Last night he had 7 kills, 2 digs, and 10 points. But overall this season, he has 170.5 points and 74 digs.
Hughes gonna send it opposite side. Gianni, no touch there. It just looks like the guys there's no energy on their side, which is so unlike them. Parrish with the top spin. Picked up by Gianni. He was running it down. He crashes into Hugo Fisher. Kept in play though. Back row, Alex Knight sent long.
I love that Alex Knight. We have a lot of people who play volleyball, but Alex Knight was kind of in the dark, a dark night back there, and just came out, but could not put it down. But love that these volleyball players come out of nowhere to make great plays.
The thing I love about men's volleyball is there's a lot of fakes and decoys, I guess is what you call them, in the sport. It just makes it really exciting. You don't know who's gonna put it away.
And men's volleyball is so powerful in their jumps, and it's so fun to watch.
Ian McLean blocked by Merrick McHenry from the middle. And Worley's gonna talk it over. We're gonna go ahead and send you guys to a quick break. We'll be right back here with the conclusion of set number 1. You're watching men's volleyball right here on GCU TV.
About time you watched it.
Getting ready to trade it in. What are you doing?
Just a little shopping. Wait, a new truck. Don't you think I should be involved?
Of course. We'll head over to Sanderson Ford as soon as I'm done.
I don't have time today. Hope we're going with 4 doors this time.
Ooh, of course. I know exactly what I want. I mean, we want. A lightning blue Ford F-150 Super Crew with EcoBoost.
All done.
Shop from home, buy from home, we deliver. From the dealer you can trust, Sanderson Ford.
Welcome back inside the GCU arena for some more volleyball action. And it's a beautiful day out, Marley. Hitting up in the 90 degree weather. And I mean, it's about that time in Arizona that it just decides, hey, we're gonna get really hot. We got a 99 degree weather day coming up tomorrow. I don't know how I'm gonna survive that, that hot day.
You'd think that we would be used to it after being here for so long, but. And we love that UCLA is here, but as a lot of the world knows, UCLA men's volleyball team is not the only one playing today. Their outstanding UCLA Bruins basketball team is in the Final Four, which will be going on almost directly after this game. They will be playing Gonzaga, and we wish them all the luck.
Yep, that starts at 5:34, so be on the lookout for the start of that game. Side out Lopes, Ian McLean steps back to serve. It is 7-14 in favor of UCLA. Coburn, middle, McHenry off the top of the block and out of bounds. Point goes to the Bruins.
McHenry is a redshirt freshman this year. A lot of power, a lot of dancing when he's warming up. Last game he had 21.5 points and 18 kills, which was actually his season high for 2021. Definitely someone you will probably be hearing throughout this game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yesterday he had 18 kills, 4 blocks, and 1 ace, so he had a good day yesterday as well. Fisher into the net. Janke, Hughes sends it outside. Janke kept in play, dug by Matotia. Knight goes with the tip push. Hugo Fisher. Dug, but goes into the havoc section. not able to retrieve it. Scores 9-16. Janky. Back row. Matotia with the kill. I thought for sure they were going to go with Ian Parrish on that set. Out of nowhere, here comes Matotia. Kaczynski. Hughes out to Gianni. And he powers that one through the block. GCU into the double digits now. It's 10-17.
And he nailed that one right down to Cole Power, the libero for UCLA. As a libero, one of your big things is you got to get it back up to help your team out. He could not. Gianni slammed that one down, greatly executed.
Kaczynski out of bounds, no touch.
And slowly, GCU is crawling their way towards UCLA. Once again, they got to rise up and shine a lot brighter than UCLA, and they're starting to find their light a little bit.
It was a slow start for sure. Kaczynski, dug by. That one sent down by Ian McLean. Into the net by Alex Knight. Point goes to Lopes. It's 12-17, and yeah, Marley, they are slowly crawling back into it and just kind of getting warmed up, getting ready. I mean, they had a slow start in that first set yesterday, and they crawled right back in and actually won it with extra points.
And one thing that was awesome was Heath Hughes, number 8 on GCU's side. As a setter, your main goal is to control the offense, and right there he did a nice job of reading everything and getting it done for GCU. It is now 17-12 at UCLA.
The cool thing about setters is I in terms of another sport, they're like the quarterback. They run the plays. I mean, in the next few plays, if you want, viewers, just watch either one of the setters, Coburn or Hughes. They're gonna signal, they're gonna pull their jersey out and signal something with their hands to their outsides, their middles, their right sides, even sometimes Gianni or some of their back row players to run a back row attack. Just watch it, it's really cool. They have plays that they run. Some people think that, you know, they just like set it up and hope for the best, but no, they're structured.
They control, yeah, they structure it, there's a foundation and control all of that. On the offensive side.
Yes.
But again, just like the quarterback, you don't see the quarterback out there for defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's different because Hughes does run a 6-1, so he plays all the way around. So you do see him sitting back there in that right side defense. Weary into the net. That's a rare occasion for him. And it's 12-18.
And Weary will check out. He did come in yesterday and have a service ace. There were a few people that we were very interested who came in, and everyone who was, in a sense, a utility did a great job helping the team out.
Yeah, we had some funny substitutions. I'll talk about those more later. Matotia into the block on the Lopes side. They're almost to that 20-point threshold. It is 12-19.
And Matotia, he is actually from Hawaii, and that is where he started his college career, where he then went over to UCLA, and I think he kind of bounced off the back of the middle blockers' heads right there on that set.
I think that happened yesterday in one of the games. It hit someone's arm, but nonetheless, they still were Hitting those front row players, not what you want, but
yeah.
Hughes with the floater. Parrish, quick. B, I think that's what that's called. At least on my team, they call them Bs.
No one on the GCU side was ready for that. They had that nice little floater, and again, Heath Hughes, we can't stop talking about him. Great job with that floater. You'd think he's going to drop a little bit in front of the net, but it gets over. But then it was just number 7 to deliver that drill.
Gianni. Out of system. Fisher into the block and on their side. It's 13-21. And Heath Hughes, he actually picked up an ace yesterday on a long floater, which normally he gets his aces by dropping them short, but that was a rare occasion, pretty neat to see.
21-13 UCLA.
Parrish kicking it off. Hughes out to Fisher, through the block, kept in play. Back row, Janky! Matotia sends it over. They're gonna call that one for
McHenry. It seemed as though Coach Worley went over there. I think it was a little bit questionable as well. Maybe the hands over the net it might have looked like, but they called it clean.
Parrish, top spin. Gianni picks it up. McLean from the middle. McLean once again. UCLA still in it. McLean with the quick. Lopes go up by 1. It's 14-22.
And that is what we would like to call a dirt dessert, Diana. One of those sweet kills. A DD, he won't just get you home safe, but he will deliver nice kills for the team.
Matotia, that's out of bounds. The line judge on UCLA side called it out, but the one on GCU side called it in, but ultimately it was long, so it didn't matter. Gianni, out of bounds.
Sam Coburn to serve.
Coburn. Hughes kept alive. Ian McLean from the middle.
And McLean, for him, his hitting percentage is always superb. Last night it was superb. And it looks like it will continue on into this match. If you watch, though, I keep watching McHenry down there, 13, thinking that his hands are going to go over that net. Him and Heath Hughes might have a joust.
Gotta love those jousts, right? Set point in favor of the Bruins. Matautia back to serve. Hughes back to Fisher. He elects for the roll shot. Back row, Matautia. And first set will go to UCLA. We're gonna go ahead and send you guys to a commercial. You're watching men's volleyball. We'll be right back here with set number 2 on GCU TV.
From reimagining the way you work to reassessing what you need, you've changed the way you do business. And now, so have we. With no annual contracts and flexible internet and voice solutions, you'll have what you need to get back to business. Rethink, reconnect, reimagine. Switch to Cox Business today.
Welcome back inside the early. The Lopes are obviously having a rough start in that first set. You could see kind of their mental capacity was a little bit, and you know, in that first set yesterday, they struggled with their mentality until later on in the set. I thought maybe it would be the case today.
Well, and you know, usually set one for volleyball, it takes them a little bit of warming up, but for UCLA, it does not seem like it took them a lot to warm up. It seemed like they are coming out here strong, ready to seal the deal in 3 sets. So we are just going to see, and GCU has to limit all those errors, and that we see a lot of substitutions with Enriquez and Udall. So maybe they're trying to find out the right kind of combination and forte for them to pull through in set 2.
And you know, we talk about the libero, and this is something that I'm really, really excited about. Is normally we have Cole Udall doing 100% of the libero work, and now today we saw Avery Enriquez in that starting lineup. And when we left off last year in the 2020 season, both those 2 liberos were splitting time, and they're back doing it again, which is exciting because they're both very talented and they're unique in their own ways and their styles as defenders.
I love that they're not just unique on the court, but they're unique off the court. I feel Enriquez is a little bit more out there, outgoing, you know, a little more spunky, and Cole is that calm and collected kind of guy. But again, during media day, when we talked to Cole, he's a quiet guy, and he said, you know what, I'm quiet, I, you know, don't say much or not that loud, but I think that my spirit animal is an elephant, you know, one of those big, probably one of the loudest animals out there. But they're splitting the time, and we love to see it, and we can't wait to see more of them.
Yeah, not only, it cracks me up because not only is he such a quiet guy, well, he's quiet to those he doesn't know.
Yes.
He's very outgoing to
Yes.
his buddies on the team. But he's probably one of the shortest people on the team besides Avery, and he said, oh, I'm an elephant.
Oh, yeah.
It literally cracked me up. But we're going to start off set number 2 here pretty soon.
All right, those fans, you know the deal. You begin every set on your feet, and everybody makes some noise. And nobody sits down until the low score.
And here's a look at the Commonwealth Insurance match stats, just to give a little recap for set number 1. So GCU obviously struggling with the kills there. We're gonna have to take it off because set number 2 is underway with Ian Parrish kicking it off.
And as you saw on there, the hitting percentage was really low for GCU. All around yesterday, going into sets 3 and 4, and then a little bit of 5 as well, their hitting percentage was low. UCLA definitely holding their hitting percentage along with limiting their errors, but GCU has not done that so far.
Fisher off the top of the block, kept alive by Knight. Kaczynski. And UCLA first point goes to them. Parrish selects for the topspin. That's going to go into the net. Side out Lopes. And McLean's going to step back to take the serve. McLean floater. Knight's there. Matotia blocked by Hugo Fisher and Kyle Thompson. Duo up front. And our net defense has been awfully quiet up until this point, Marley.
I love that Matotia tried to get in there and pull a little fast one, but those boys caught it right there. Great job of blocking.
Hugo Fisher blocked out of bounds. And looks like the momentum, the boys are gaining some back.
And although GCU blocked the point before that, UCLA UCLA came right back and blocked as well.
Kaczynski out of bounds, no touch.
Kaczynski trying to send it down the right side, but it did not fall on the line or within bounds.
Knight. Matotia into the block, kept alive, still on UCLA side. Matotia off the block. Out of system, Fisher off the block and out of bounds again. And Hugo Fisher is the name of the second set game. He's got 4 kills on 7 attempts.
Yeah, greatly executed right there. They were trying to be that block city, but Hugo Fisher brought the fire in his kill. And instead of going right back to them when a block is supposed to happen, it kind of bounced off the side and went to the right.
Marley, I don't know about you, but I might stop by the GCU Lope Shop to get some more gear after today's game.
Yep, I definitely March Madness stuff, but GCU fans, get the best gear to show off your Lope pride. Go to lopeshop.gcu.edu to find everything GCU, from the newest apparel to the coolest accessories. Use promo code GameDay20 today only to get 20% off for being a GCU TV viewer. Log on and get your gear today.
You can never have too much Lope gear. Well, in the case of if you're a UCLA fan, maybe, maybe not.
None.
But yeah, love it down at Lope Shop. That's why I spend most of my money, unfortunately. But looks like we're gonna kick off the rest of this set number 2.
And again, kind of a slow start. It is only 5-1, and GCU up, however.
Yeah, Sproul wanted to talk that one over. He wanted to cut it off before it went any further. And we'll see. I guess we'll see if it was a good timeout or not. McLean kept it alive. And McHenry with the kill from the middle. Coburn back to serve. Haven't seen the Coburn brothers yet thus far, but I mean, come on. Kevin was a late substitution in yesterday's game too, so there's
still got up there in those leaders in stats.
Plenty of volleyball left to play here today. Put through. Blocked again! The duo of the day, Hugo Fisher and Kyle Thompson.
Yep, UCLA might have had a strong duo last night, but GCU has a stronger one here today in blocks. Matotia trying to get that down again once again.
Fisher topspin into the net, and he's been struggling in the service department lately. He had a few errors in last night's game. Matotia on deck for serve. He elects to a floater. Hughes to Thompson! No contesting that. No block touch, and certainly no dig out of the back row.
And it's awesome watching Kyle Thompson, because his vertical jump is 12 feet, so it looks like he freezes in the air before he smacks it down for a sweet, sweet kill.
Janke with the serve. Knight. That one's out of bounds. Point goes to the Lopes. They're up by 5. It's 8-3. Certainly different contrast to set number 1. Janke into the net.
And you could see the disappointment on Janke's face, because they know that's not what they need to do early against this UCLA team.
Yeah, I mean, UCLA and GCU are already racking up the service errors. GCU's got 8, and UCLA has 6. Gianni from the outside.
That whole play was great from side to side, and as you watched, it kind of looked like Hughes and Thompson were going to run into each other, but it was all part of it. So great communication and great execution.
Knight goes with the off-speed push. McLean tipping it, picked up by Janke, sent out to Gianni into the block. Kaczynski picking up that block, and he's immediately going to go back and take the ball and serve it away.
And it seems like Gianni and Janke are usually those, you know, Spitfire players, are kind of having a difficult time against this team.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job of stacking that block and making sure they're closing those seams, making sure that it's going to be really hard to get around that block, and it looks like they're going to call an intent on that one. Don't have the best angle to see that one from up here, but Kaczynski. Hughes back to Fisher. He goes with the tip, picked up. Coburn's there. He's getting out of the way. Knight off the top of the block, kept alive. Udall's there. Out to Gianni. Down line. Point goes to the Lopes. And they're in the double digits. It's 10-6.
And we just talked about how we thought Gianni was, you know, having a hard time getting around this stacked team, but he sent that one straight down the left side and got it to curve in.
Coburn. Parrish. Using the block, using the Lopes block to his advantage. Knight on the serving deck. He goes the top spin. Udall's there. Picked up by Gianni. Sent out. Fisher. Looks like Fisher and Gianni switched sides, and it worked out for them there.
That's what's so fun about volleyball players as well. You got to be versatile if your coach wants to switch it up and you want to create that kind of confusion for the opposite team. Versatility is the key.
Johnny. Matotia sneaks that one in. And UCLA slowly catching up to GCU.
We have Enriquez checking out and Udall coming in, splitting up that time as we previously mentioned.
Parrish, Udall picked up. Hughes to Janke, off the block, lands on the Lope side. Ian Parrish back to serve. Hugo Fisher tips it, and he's there again. Tips it again. Point goes to GCU. It's 12-9.
And Hugo Fisher went fishing, Diana, and got a big one for GCU. Great job. He went to the other side. You realize that he was on the left side last time, but now he's on the right side. And the ball was just there with him.
Yeah, the redshirt sophomore from Belgium racking up 6 kills already. Fisher, off-speed shot. Matotia blocked and inside UCLA's boundary lines.
And the team coming out there to let it be known that that was GCU's point. Hugo Fisher with the little point.
Kaczynski from the back line, back row attack.
Sam Coburn to serve.
One of the Coburn brothers back there to serve. He has 14 assists already, and make that an error as well.
Hugo Fisher to serve.
There's a lot of these men's volleyball players who have siblings who also play. I mean, there's the Coburn brothers, and then Ian Eschenberg on the UCLA team. His brother plays for BYU.
BYU, which is still undefeated this year.
Oh, and there's, of course, the Enriquez brothers. Avery Enriquez, who checks out of the game just now. His brother over at, is playing at Concordia.
Concordia, yes. Who we are playing in 2 weeks, actually, in the Antelope Gym.
Fisher, cross court, kept alive. That's a free ball. Hughes, Janke, down line. UCLA scrambling, that's a tight one. Hughes hits it. Some miscommunication there. Looks like he was going up for the set, but he didn't have his hands all the way together, and it fell through his hands, and he set it with his head.
I loved Heath getting in there, though, for attempting that kill as well. But it was all smiles and a great effort on the UCLA team.
Janke, Pender's there. McHenry hits that one wide. And the Lopes have been in the driver's seat this whole second set. We're gonna go ahead and send you guys to a commercial break. We're gonna be right back here with the conclusion of set number 2. This is men's volleyball right here on GCU TV.
About time we watched it.
Getting ready to trade it in. What are you doing?
Just a little shopping. Wait, a new truck? Don't you think I should be involved?
Of course. We'll head over to Sanderson Ford as soon as I'm done.
I don't have time today. Hope we're going with 4 doors this time.
Ooh, of course. I know exactly what I want. I mean, we want. A lightning blue Ford F-150 Super Crew with EcoBoost.
All done.
Shop from home, buy from home, we deliver. From the dealer you can trust, Sanderson Ford.
Welcome back inside the GCU Arena for set number 2. And Marley, both talented coaches leading these two teams. I mean, Coach John Speraw, he has been someone that, I don't know, the first time I got into commentating, which was last year, I remembered that he coached UCLA. We got put on the game together. He walked into the building, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's John Speraw. He's up there.
I didn't get it.
He's up there in volleyball royalty. I mean, he's
very respected.
Right next to Karch Karai and I mean Casey Patterson, like all those big names in volleyball. He's up there.
Yes, very decorated. He actually got his undergraduate at UCLA, and once a Bruin, always a Bruin over there, and just very respected within the community. But so is Coach Matt Worley, a very nice man as well. It is a small conference, so everyone knows everyone and respects everyone as well.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about John Speraw later because he has a very extensive volleyball resume. I mean, it's just too much to fit in
read
to just a couple minutes. You could honestly make a movie about that guy.
30 for 30.
There you go.
Yeah.
McHenry. Thompson. The timing was off. Pancake by Matotia. The timing was off between Kyle Thompson and setter Heath Hughes there. But no worries. I mean, Kyle's got a nice arm span. He just doinked that one down there.
Matotia's wiping the floor. You know, you got to make sure that you don't slip out there on the floor. Ref's going out there to check it, but nice little almost pancake out there. But you got to give it to Kyle Thompson. Totally thought he was coming up there with that missile, but just a nice little over the net that dropped down.
Weary Jackson in the game takes the serve. It's a floater. Tough one for UCLA at that. Knight out of bounds.
And that just touches on how when these different utilities, in a sense, come in and help out the team. So very nicely done by Worley and just his thought process of how to get the team up there.
Something I thought of yesterday during the game is, in the spirit of using other sports to compare to volleyball, we already talked about the quarterback one with the setter. When people check into the game, it's like in baseball, like pinch running and
He's our special team.
Pinch hitting.
Our special team. Already had 2 service aces already.
Parrish. Weary not able to get there. And he's going to check out of the game. Kyle Thompson's going to come in for a brief second and then go back out. Cole Udall stepping in that back row position, per usual. Kuczynski on deck for the serve. That's wide. And GCU just crossed into that 20-point threshold. It's 22-13.
Now, as it was mentioned, GCU played UCLA inside our small little Antelope gym last year and beat them for the first time. Oh no, they played inside the arena, excuse me, but they beat UCLA for the first time in history. And then they were the first team that GCU played this season as well. Unfortunately lost 3-0. But last night, every single set that they played was very, very close between these 2 teams. So again, this shows that Matt Worley does not want it to be a surprise, and it is not a surprise now that this team can compete.
Knight with the serve. Back row, Janke tipped. He was trying to pancake that one. And the interesting thing is, Marley, the Lopes just got off a 3-game road trip out in California against Pepperdine. They lost all of those games. They took one of them to 5 sets. But when we look at UCLA, they split 1-1 with them.
And it's all close points. It's within 5 points for each set.
Yeah, so you never really know who's gonna prevail over another. Udall. Gianni switching it up.
And we see the other Coburn brother making his appearance and making the brother name known.
And yesterday Kevin Coburn made that late substitution in that game. Not really surprised to see him late in the second set. But certainly made an impact for the short time he was in yesterday, racking up those 16 kills.
And it seems as though they are going to start incorporating him into the rotation now for UCLA.
And the chemistry's there between him and his brother. I'm sure that they spent countless hours practicing together as
Ever since
siblings
they were
do.
young,
Yes, for sure. And on top of those 16 kills yesterday, he also did really well on the net. He picked up 2 blocks, which doesn't really match Merrick McKendry's 4, but I mean, he was up there. Austin Matotia had 5 blocks and 7 kills. So he had an impressive game yesterday. He's also having a good game today, too. He's been shut down a little bit by that outside, that middle and right side block combination of Kyle Thompson and Hugo Fisher. He's really shut Matotia down. But we'll see if he can work around it in the next few plays. and throughout the rest of the game as well. Knight. Back row, janky. Right into the block. Point goes to the Bruins, it's 22-17. Gianni from the opposite side hits the antenna. And UCLA slowly creeping up to the Lopes.
And the refs are definitely going to talk this one over. I'm sure Coach Worley is going to want an explanation. But if it gets overturned, UCLA will want an explanation as well. And they turn it over back to GCU.
That was the shortest ref discussion I think I've ever seen.
That was going to be a little bit more, but.
Gianni with the top spin. And there's Kevin Coburn, one of the Coburn brothers from the opposite side.
Ian Parrish to serve.
Ian Parrish back to serve. And that's a service ace for Ian Parrish.
And as you're watching on the line, these boys serve it a lot differently than the women do. Watch Parrish here right now. He'll throw the ball high up in the air with a jump serve that's a lot more aggressive.
Here's back row for Fisher. Alex Knight cannot corral that one. Lopes coming dangerously close to that 25-point mark. It's 22-19.
And you know, their light was a little bit dim, but it's getting a little bit brighter now.
Kevin Coburn once again. And you can see why he racked up so many kills yesterday. He just goes in there, gets the job done, and keeps on going.
And now his brother is going to come in, the other Coburn brother, which will step back to serve. 22-20 GCU.
Fisher cross court. Kaczynski through the block. That's gonna have a touch. Point goes to UCLA.
It is now a 1-point game. And I love it because every time that Hugo Fisher gets in there and just is all over the place, it seems like UCLA is fighting to keep his ball alive.
And just to look back into the stats for this set, I mean, Hugo Fisher, he's being dominant from that right side hitting position. He's got 7 kills on 19 attempts. Not his best hitting percentage ratio. He's hitting a .263. He's got 1 dig and 3 blocks. Part of that dangerous block duo with Kyle Thompson. Camden Gianni's right behind him with 6 kills on 13 attempts. He's hitting a .154. He's got an assist and 1 dig. And then on UCLA side, Ian Parrish and Austin Matotia both have 6 kills apiece. And Ian Parrish, interesting fact about him, he's hitting that perfect, he's hitting a perfect hitting score with a 1,000%. 6 kills on 6 attempts. He's got 1 service ace that we just saw moments ago.
So is Coburn, Kevin Coburn.
And, and 2 digs and 4 blocks. So he's such a big asset on that net defense for the Bruins. And Austin Matotia, the senior, the redshirt senior from Hawaii, with those 6 kills, and he's got 1 block too. And of course, it's all those usual names we have sprinkled in there. Cole Kaczynski and Merrick McHenry that are close behind with 4 and 3 respectively.
I will say one thing that is surprising, you look at the hitting percentage for Christian Janke, and he is actually in the negative.
Yeah, he's really struggling, I think, to find holes in the UCLA block.
And right there, Camden Gianni was able to make a hole because they knew that one was going to go out, and the point goes to GCU.
Fisher. Kaczynski sneaks that one through the block.
And again, just a 1-point difference. But as mentioned before, when it comes to 25 points, one of the teams has to win by 2.
Knight kept alive by and sent over. Globes coming off the bench, not happy by that call, as it was 4 touches. And just like that, it's set point.
McHenry had a big part of that, but it seemed like every single body limb touched that one right there. Great call out by GCU as well.
Janke with the serve. Kaczynski picked up by Enriquez, diving for that one. And blocked by UCLA.
And it looks like it might go past that 25-point mark.
McHenry on deck. That one rolls over the net. Service ace for Merrick McHenry. And we're all knotted up at 24, and we're gonna go into extra points.
And a nice little let right there by UCLA. Been waiting all season for one of those to happen. Nicely executed. Touch the net and then drop down.
Janke pushes that one over. Kaczynski, good cross-court pickup by Udall. Janke trying to run it down on the other side of the net. UCLA goes up by 1. It's 25-24, set point in favor of the Bruins.
Once again, Janke having a hard time trying to find his niche right there, but great pickup by libero Cole Udall.
Camden Gianni using his volleyball IQ, high volleyball IQ, to keep us in this second set. Knotted up at 25, and oh boy, I don't want another BYU record-setting game in the second set.
Yeah, he found that hole right there. McHenry was trying to maybe do a J-stroke or something to get it back up, but could not quite execute it that way.
Out of system, Gianni into the block. Inside the court. Set point in favor of the Bruins once again. And that's a service error from Cole Kaczynski. Hughes back to serve. Alex Knight stuff as that one in between Enriquez's platform and the floor.
Again, the Dark Knight comes out and hits it down. Enrique's not quite there, and then Udall will come in, splitting that time, trying to see.
Knight sends that one wide, and really the UCLA service errors are keeping the Lopes in this one.
And now their hitting percentage is .269 for UCLA, and GCU is only at .086.
Matotia tipped. Hughes and Janke collide. Janke struggling to his feet.
Holding his elbow. He might have hit his funny bone or something, and we all know that doesn't feel that great. But, you know, been really realizing that a lot on both teams, that they've been running into each other because these boys are just really into it. But again, that goes back to communication. You got to understand where your place is.
Yeah, not only that, if there's bad communication and they're colliding like that, that's a potential for injuries, which is not what you want, because these guys are assets on the team. They each have their place, and injuries, there's just no room for them. Hugo Fisher kept alive by Parrish. Matotia, cross-court line, picked up by Gianni. Excellent dig. Christian Janke into the block. Set point in favor of UCLA once again. It's 28-27. And it looks like that was game point, actually. I got a little confused there. I forgot about that whole thing with Janke. So yeah, set number 2, hard fought by UCLA. It's gonna go to them. We're gonna send you to another break. You're watching men's volleyball right here on GCU TV.
While you explore our country, let Community Tire Pros be part of your journey. We're here to give everyone something to look forward to. Message us or schedule an appointment online at Community Tire Pros today. Tire Pros, we're here for you. When you have the urge to play outside, Tire Pros wants to get you there, offering convenience, selection, and our national roadside assistant. Message us or schedule an appointment online at Community Tire Pros today. Tire Pros, we're here for you.
Welcome back inside the GC Arena. And Marley, that was a tough one for the guys. Obviously, when you're committed, you're up to that 27, 29 points. You're committed at that point, and that's a lot of energy that the boys put into that second set. And obviously, it didn't go in that favor. So I think in set number 3, they're really going to have to pull it together mentally and just bring back some of that energy.
And you know, it might be like how it was where GCU took the first 2 sets yesterday and UCLA took the other 2 in the end, winning it. Maybe that will happen here where UCLA has taken the first 2 and now GCU has kind of found their momentum and will take these next 2, possibly sending it into a 5th set. But great energy. The boys have come out to play, but again, that communication needs to be out there because they don't need to be tumbling all over each other.
Yeah, that leaves room for injuries. But yeah, there is a potential for a reverse sweep. I mean, UCLA did it yesterday, so why can't the Lopes do it today? Obviously some standouts in that set number 2 were Camden Gianni. He had some great digs. I loved what I saw out of the liberos. They were great. I know Avery Enriquez, he had that really good pickup at one point in the game. Cole Udall sitting great with the defense. He's making big digs out there.
And yeah, they're splitting the time perfectly. As we said, they're coming in and out, but UCLA is just shining a little bit brighter than GCU right now. But again, they need to open up that egg and have no surprise in it and just show people that this is going to be the norm, that they are competitors.
For sure. And even on UCLA side, most of the guys are having really awesome games. They're staying really consistent, which is why they're able to pull ahead in that first set and even pull it out in that second set. They're making less errors, not necessarily in the service error category, though.
Yes, and you know, it goes that 2 points. It's 2 points for every single match that you got to win by. And UCLA could have finished that there, but they kept on having those service errors, and that is just not something that I'm sure Coach Sparrow thinks is acceptable for this 11-9 team.
And absolutely nobody sits down until the first score.
And set number 3 about to get underway. GCU Arena not as packed as I thought it would be on this Saturday. We got quite a few UCLA spectators making the journey from California.
And I think they love the fact that they can come into the arena and actually watch their boys play, because I know a lot of places in California are not allowing that, and California is not that far away from Arizona. So they really showed up here these past 2 days.
Yeah, for sure. I know when I tuned into the USC broadcast over there, they weren't allowing fans in. They had cardboard cutouts like we once did. They actually emptied the arena in preparation for the commencements coming up here in a couple weeks. Marley will be a part of that, graduating senior. So congrats to you for that.
Hopefully, got a few more assignments I got to finish and kind of seal the deal.
Seal the deal on that diploma.
But yeah, even with baseball, whose season is still going on for their Pepperdine team, who we took on before we took on the road, they had a lot of people show up for them as well on the baseball side. They had a lot of parents, because again, their stadium was closed to outside spectators.
And the same goes for volleyball. Tuned into that broadcast as well. No fans allowed in the arena. Keishel with the joust. Cobran, the setter, is going to get a kill. And we're seeing some interesting substitutions already. We have David Keishel taking one of those outside positions. Redshirt senior, native of Arizona.
Alex Knight to serve.
Alex Knight back to serve. Weary. Kyle Thompson from the middle. And he's having a great game, in my opinion. He's got 3 kills on 4 attempts and 2 blocks.
Had a sweet dirt dessert once again.
Thompson. Matotia. That one's wide. I was thinking he maybe was trying to get a little touch off the block there.
A great job by Kyle Thompson, who was on that left side of getting his hand out of the way and reading it.
Back row, Kaczynski. It is 3-2. And Kyle Thompson, he really started playing volleyball not that long ago, but he's really settled into it.
And now we have David Keishel for the Lopes in, and he was one of those people that Worley brought in right there, who had a kill and picks up another one for GCU. So he gets in there and gets it done.
He's actually switched positions. He used to be an opposite hitter. Now he's hitting on the outside position. Worley thought it'd be a good idea to change that, and looks like it's working out good for him.
And he's one of those first people, when we show up, Diana, he's one of those first ones to be here in the arena, warming up and just messing around a little bit as well. So it's awesome to see him out there playing for GCU.
Yeah, there's never a game where we show up about 2 hours ahead before first serve, and him and owner Sakura are always here. making sure they're nice and warm and getting some extra repetitions in. Matotia. Boys, UCLA guys calling for a touch.
And the up ref will be asking for his floor refs to come over. You could see that his hand was a little questionable on which side he was going to put it up. One floor ref said UCLA, but the up ref said GCU. Another short discussion, and it will indeed go to UCLA. There was a touch on GCU's side.
And just like that, we're knotted at 4.
Coach Burley on the side still not really happy with that call.
Ian McLean, no contesting that. No block and no answer in the defense back row for him. Lobes go up, it's 5-4. David Keichel back to serve. Kaczynski, Enriquez with the dig. Fisher. Parrish. And Worley coming off the bench, a little heated about something, some call in there, and the refs are gonna come over and talk about it once again.
Yeah, see, all the boys on that side were coming out, and they were correct indeed. GCU's point, great eye by the boys. They're not letting UCLA get away with anything.
David Keichel to serve.
David Keichel back to serve. It's 6-4 in favor of GCU. And that's going to go into the net.
And for that last call, it was a little confusing on what that really was, but it was an attack error by Ian Parrish, number 7, on UCLA's side.
Kept alive. Sent over by Keichel. Kaczynski. Blocked by Weary. I was trying to see who that was. Weary with the massive block there. Maybe Ian McLean got a little bit of hands on that one. Not sure the ref was kind of blocking my view there, but nonetheless, good net defense.
And man, how excited were those boys, because they know he does not get to play that often, but so far since he has been put in for this game, or this match against UCLA, he does an excellent execution. 2 service aces today, and now that block.
Ian Parrish back to serve. Weary. Kyle Thompson timing a little off. Weary's there, sent back. Hugo Fisher off the block and out of bounds. Point goes to the Lopes. It is 8-6, folks.
And it seems oftentimes that Hugo Fisher is the poison for UCLA.
Blocked by Kyle Thompson. Lots of great net defense efforts in this third set. And yeah, Hugo Fisher, he really does give a tough look for most teams that he plays. I mean, he really had a great road trip against Pepperdine, picking up 13 and then 14 and 14 kills in those 3 games.
And he's able to play right, left side, back, block. So he is just that poison for every team.
Kaczynski picked up. Out of system, Weary over the block. Knight blocked it inbounds. It is Heath Hughes with the solo block. I'm not sure that Kyle Thompson had anything to do with that one. Moral support, though.
And great job by setter Heath Hughes, again, controlling that offense. And it is 10-6 GCU. We are going to send it to a short commercial break right here inside the GCU arena.
From reimagining the way you work to reassessing what you need, you've changed the way you do business. And now, so have we. With no annual contracts and flexible internet and voice solutions, you'll have what you need to get back to business. Rethink, reconnect, reimagine. Switch to Cox Business today.
Well, now, welcome back inside the GCU arena. GCU fans, if you haven't already, it is time to download the Lope Nation app, watch GCU home sporting events directly from your app, receive personalized and score updates.
And Marley, I said we were going to revisit this topic later on. I mean, simply, we just don't have enough time to cover the extensive resume of John Speraw. But I just wanted to touch on this a little bit. He coaches for the U.S. volleyball team as well, the men's national team. After serving as the assistant coach for the 2008, which they came home with a gold in Beijing, and the 2012 Olympic Games, which advanced to the quarterfinals in London, Speraw has also elevated to head coach of the U.S. men's volleyball national team in March of 2013.
Yeah, he's won many titles as well. Seems like a really down-to-earth person, and I thought it was super funny. After he had got his undergraduate at UCLA, he actually worked in the hospital for the beginning year, which is so cool to see that he has a lot of traits.
Yeah, certainly talented individual.
Maybe he decided to stick to volleyball.
Yeah, I think that was a good decision.
After the hospital.
He's set to go to those 2020, they were the 2020 Tokyo Games, but now they're set to the 2021 due to the pandemic. Kyle Thompson from the middle. Another amazing kill by him.
You know, that one wasn't as powerful as a kill that he usually has, but that goes again to reading the other side. He saw that gap, he saw that hole, took the chance, and it paid off.
Hugo Fisher. Kevin Coburn with the point. He just snuck on into that game.
And Enriquez was the one who had the touch on that. He will check out, and Cole Udall will come back in.
See how many points Kevin Coburn can rack up while he's in. And there's a service ace.
Kevin Coburn to serve.
Kevin Coburn, roll shot into the net. That's a tough one for the libero to receive.
Kevin Coburn to serve.
And although our record is not as well as UCLA's record is this season, I still believe that the Lopes have scared them a little bit. They might have thought that they could come in here like the beginning season when GCU played them and shut them out 3-0, but GCU definitely opening up their eyes.
Yeah, and I mean, back when we played them on January 29th, we were still working out our rotation, and Worley was trying to find that money rotation, and I think we've had that, and we had it yesterday. That's why we were so successful in those first two sets. Good throw by David Keichel from the outside. So we seem to have found that money rotation, but UCLA definitely have done their homework on the guys, and Worley was struggling to find kind of a different look at that rotation yesterday.
Well, and he found of course, you have your starters, but you also have those other players like David Kieshel and the liberos that come in and out that add even more depth to a team, and his depth is what you want for a team.
And also not only that, but someone could be really consistent one day and then just not consistent the other day. But yeah, GCU having really busy time. We're coming out of the month of March, which let me tell you, it was crazy. We had so many sports going on. Still got some sports going on around campus. Let's go ahead and take a look at that with our upcoming schedule.
Well, for softball, they got 2 games against Dixie State Friday, one at 2 p.m. and the other at 4 p.m. Softball is 5-17 on the season, and on the baseball side, they are taking on Northern Colorado Friday at 6 p.m. Their record is 14-13-1. Both teams doing a good job this season, and although it was a busy March season with all these teams due to the coronavirus, it will now just buckle down to the end with softball and baseball. So make sure to tune in to GCU TV to keep up with their season and see how it ends.
And not only that, campus is relatively busy today. We have California Baptist visiting. They're playing our soccer team, our women's soccer team at the moment. They kicked off at 2 o'clock as well.
And those 2 teams played on Thursday and went to overtime, and it ended in a tie. And then Trevor Weary coming out of the darkness, making his name made with another kill here. You gotta love when these players that don't play that often come in and get the team hyped, add a little bit energy, and maybe that, going back to the 3 keys, rise and shine, Trevor Weary is rising and shining to the occasion.
Well, whenever he's been subbed in, he gets the job done. So I think Worley was like, well, let's take a chance with him, see how he does on the outside, and he's really lived up to that opportunity. Outside kill by number 19, Ian Eschenberg. His brother, like I said, he plays at BYU. And just to take a look back into that soccer game, GCU's up by 3 to California Baptist's 0. So a little different look than that Thursday night game where they went into overtime and ultimately tied the game.
And Ian Eschenberg will send that one into the net, making it 16-10 GCU.
Thompson. Picked up by Weary. Blocked by Ian McLean. Blocked again. That one's pushed over. David Kieshel cross-court picked up. Matotia, that's a touch from Kyle Thompson. Point goes to UCLA. But you gotta love GCU's blocking efforts in that rally.
And it seemed almost like Mick Henry had a double touch right there, but he read it and he got it over the net. But then it was Matotia to put the nail in the coffin for that point.
McHenry with the serve. Kieshel! And they're looking for a touch, not gonna give it to him. I thought for sure that touched. McHenry back to serve. It's 16-12. Kieshel with the service reception. Hugo Fisher off the block, kept alive. Kevin Coburn pushes it over. Ian McLean from the middle. And he's one that's pretty silent, but whenever he's given the opportunity, he makes it count.
And the AC always refers to him, McLean, from the Christmas movie. What's that Christmas movie? Die Hard. Die Hard. And man, showing a little spunk in that one.
Yeah, they used to say yippee-ki-yay, Ian McLean.
Yippee-ki-yay, yes.
Miles Martin to serve.
And he is now a graduate here at GCU. One more year of eligibility, which you will see for a lot of people on a lot of teams. If they're red shirt or anything around that, it is due to the extra year of eligibility.
Yeah, and a lot of our players actually took that extra year of eligibility, not only with the red shirt capacity, but also because of COVID. They actually were given the choice to have that extra year. And some of the guys that took it were Camden, Gianni. I believe a few others took it as well. I'll have to look back into my notes on that one. But I know that Camden did, because he's a redshirt freshman, and it's his 3rd year on campus.
And that one was right off the fingertips of Hugo Fisher, making it a 4-point game. UCLA down.
Keishel. Fisher. Cross court. That's a touch. Point goes to GCU. It is 19-14.
And man, while you're watching this game, watch the middle, especially Hugo Fisher. He kind of winds up outside of the outline court to warm up, to jump up for that kill, or kind of to juke people out. So watch him on the sideline.
Miscommunication from the middle. Point goes to GCU. It's 22-14. And yeah, watch the guys approach. They're already so tall that they cover so much ground, but to get extra power behind that ball, they get very far out for their approach. Out of rotation for UCLA. Point goes to Lopes.
And an easy little point right there. They will group up in the middle to talk about it, double check everything. 21-14 GCU.
Parrish.
Ian Parrish with the hit. Ian Parrish to serve.
Parrish knocking that one down and then immediately running back to serve for UCLA.
And he's all business after that one. Udall. Back row, Hugo Fisher down the line. No contesting that one. He's heating up.
Yeah, there is definitely no contesting that one at all. Again, he had that wind-up approach with that sweet kill down the right side.
And he's another one who took that extra year of eligibility. Him along with Janke.
Kevin Coburn to serve.
I believe Heath Hughes took it. I know Cole Udall did as well. So they'll be around town for a little bit longer.
Avery Enriquez as well, yeah.
And Heath Hughes with the setter dump. That came out of nowhere. Really chose to do that at a smart moment in the game.
Yeah, big gap right there. No one was expecting that. But usually when you do a dump, the opposing team picks up on that. He was turned one way, then turned around and burned UCLA.
Kevin Coburn. Weary's there. It's a free ball. Blocked. Heath Hughes. UCLA keeping it in though. Partain from the right side. McHenry, there's Heath Hughes keeping it in play. Hugo Fisher running it down to the bench. Opts out of it, says maybe I shouldn't do that. Don't want to get injured.
And man, these boys, every time that they play UCLA, last year Heath Hughes went over that board right there where it says GCU men's volleyball. He went over it to return it for GCU to keep them in that rally.
I remember that. And that's a service ace.
Heath Hughes taking out one of his Hugo Fisher taking out one of his assistant coaches over there.
Looks like that was Keith Smith. Took out Keith Smith over there.
Maybe they should just migrate over to the other side.
Possibly. I think that one of the reasons Heath Hughes is the starting setter is because he's got so much hustle. He's not afraid to dive under a net and over a barrier to retrieve any balls. Kyle Thompson tips, picked up by the libero. Power. Free ball. McHenry, Udall's there. Heath Hughes flicks it over. That's a second kill for him. And he's really made some smart plays later on in this third set.
Oh man, Cole Udall, that got me on my feet. Cole Udall right there with that nice little J stroke, what we like to call that, one-handed, over the head, over the net, and UCLA tried to lay out and dive for that, but could not get there.
Weary. That's a free ball, sent down. UCLA scrambling, sent over by Partain. Kyle Thompson! From the middle. And it's set point for GCU.
And GCU is really finding those openings, Diana. They're doing great jobs, but they're just doing that one little hand drop down, and UCLA is all in disarray right now.
Weary, Partain, Kevin Coburn from the right side. Kyle Thompson ends that third set. It's going to go to GCU. Is there a potential for a reverse sweep on the horizon? We don't know. We'll find out, though. We're going to send you to a break. You're watching men's volleyball right here on GCU TV.
Joel Embiid is unhappy.
Like, really unhappy.
Because the internet keeps using not-so-amazing GIFs to react to his amazing highlights. Mountain Dew presents the Joel Embiid Deserves Better Reactions gift collection.
Now I'm so happy.
Welcome back inside the GCU Arena. And Molly, there's a lot to unpack in that third set. There were some great plays. Some key players really stood out to me. Of course, we got the liberos, the silent heroes of tonight's game. Cole Udall, though, you got to give it to him. That one layout and that one play really saved their bacon.
Yes, and that last little, second to last play, he had that one-handed kind of J stroke to send it back over the net, and UCLA could not run that far back to get it. And then another outstanding player for that last play right there, dropping down a little one-handed in the gap, was Kyle Thompson.
Yeah, Kyle Thompson having a great game. Most of the quicks he's running, I mean, that's what he's normally running from the middle. There's no contesting it. There's no block. There's no back row defense going at it. It's just because he's so quick and he's so tall and he's so powerful and his approach is so far back and he gets so much speed going into it that it's hard to. And it's hard to see it coming because he's really good about being sneaky with it.
And, you know, at the beginning of those first two sets, UCLA was block city. But recently, with those last few plays, last few points, those rallies, they were not block city right there at all. GCU, again, read those gaps and took advantage. Great job by GCU in set 3.
Not only that, another one, there was just some great players on the Loeb side in that last set. Another one, Heath Hughes. I really loved his hustle, seeing him run all over the court, even running under the net to retrieve some balls to keep them in play. Great hustle from him.
Hugo Fisher over there trying to get a little bit of that action as well. Overall, it seems like GCU has slowly found their little groove right here inside the arena.
Yeah, I noticed that Sparrow made some adjustments kind of late in that third set. He had a few substitutions that were a little bit different from the usual suspects. We had Miles Partain jumping in there, setting for a little bit. Of course, that was different from Sam Coburn. Kevin Coburn's been checking in and out of the game. here and there.
Well, and now they're together out there on the court for UCLA at the beginning of this set. So let's see what that dynamic duo can stew up for your GCU Lopes.
And not only that, they're also, it looked like they also switched their liberos, or they're doing split time. Cole Power's in there right now, but normally Cole Pender, the two Coles, normally Cole Pender's in there.
And the Bruins have a 2-1 lead. They begin the fourth set with a serve.
And they're gonna, and on the Lope side, they're gonna keep Trevor Weary in there, which I think is a great decision. He's had a good game thus far, especially in the front row, not only on the service line.
And they have David Keishel in there as well.
Hugo Fisher winds up. And they're gonna call that 4 touches. Just what I thought. Looked like that hit all net, no fingers.
And now each side has had the unfortunate downfall of giving the other a point due to overtouch.
Keishel off-speed shot, not inside the boundary lines. Point goes to UCLA. It is 0-2.
And for our viewers, if you are just tuning in, 2 sets have gone to UCLA, 1 set to GCU. If they win this set, it will go to a 5th set. If UCLA wins this set, the game will be over. Everyone in the arena gets to sit down. And for a brief second, everyone on the sideline for the GCU men's basketball team sat down with the crowd.
Those guys are pretty humorous over there. I love checking in and seeing what they're doing over there. Chansky off the block, kept alive by Fisher. Sent out Keishel. Kaczynski. Weary with the dig. Fisher kept alive by Matotia. And what a kill by Kevin Coburn. He really found the gap there. Hit that cross court, hard cross court ball. Partain. And the Lopes guys are calling for a touch. Ref's not going to give it to him. Parrish.
And you know, for those close calls, the boys know when to argue it, and they know when, you know, just step back, reset, and then keep going.
It's an art form. Parrish, Keishel, Hugo Fisher pulling it. Coburn to Coburn. Keishel blocked. Udall's there to pick it up. Fisher cross court, kept alive by Coburn. Kevin from the outside. Udall kept keeping it alive. Keishel's gonna free ball it over into the corner. And McHenry from the middle, he's gonna get a point.
That was an awesome long rally by both sides of the team. I think everyone on both sides had a little bit to do with that play, but as mentioned before in previous games, the rallies for the men is not usually that long due to the fact that they are so powerful. So it is fun and it is interesting when they can do that. And you know, these boys know how important it is. UCLA wants to not have GCU win, shut them out on the road, and GCU is looking for revenge in this one.
Yeah, for sure, and it's certainly possible. We're gonna go ahead and send you guys to a break. You're watching men's volleyball right here on GCU TV.
When life seems uncertain, there's one credit union that provides both dollars and cents. Copper State Credit Union. With solutions that focus on our members, you can take advantage of competitive rates, free cashback checking, and local attentive service. Uplifting our community is a standard we live by. That's why thousands of your Arizona neighbors rely on us. Strengthening Arizona families through financial empowerment. That's Copper State Credit Union.
Welcome back inside the GCU Arena, and revenge is certainly possible, as UCLA did do a reverse sweep on us yesterday. They dropped the first 2 sets and then came back in the next 3 to win the whole matchup. So I don't see why GCU can't do it as well. These next few points are going to be critical, so they got to really pull it together, pull their mentality together, and make some plays. Parrish. Keishel's there. Out to Keichel. It's the block picked up by Udall. Tight ball. Keichel tips it over. UCLA scrambling. Kaczynski with the kill.
You know, when it gets sent over, as you saw on UCLA's side, it was kind of close to their chest, and there's 2 people right there, but you got to make sure that you do not do a double touch right there. So a great job by UCLA. When the ball was close and personal, they got out of the way when needed.
And a service error from Parrish. Heath Hughes is gonna step back to take the serve. It is 2-6. Coburn to Coburn. Cross court out of bounds. Lope still within striking distance. It is 3-6. Floater, Heath Hughes. Kevin Coburn down line. What a kill. Looked like Avery Enriquez didn't know what happened.
Yeah, he looked like he wanted to argue that one with the ref a little bit, but the ref was not given that the time of day. And he will check out as Cole Udall comes back in.
Coburn, Weary, picking it up. Keichel down line. He's frustrated. He thought for sure that had a touch. I thought maybe it creeped even inside that boundary line.
Yeah, I thought it creeped inside, or maybe it was even on the line, and the point would go to GCU, and Keichel would have another kill. But again, he is one of those people who has switched sides as well, and you will see Hugo Fisher on the left side now.
Hugo Fisher into the block on the Lope side. It's 3-9.
Kevin Coburn to serve.
Kevin Coburn back to serve. Udall receives the serve. Out to Hugo Fisher. That's a kill. And it looks like Marley's switching them a little bit, kind of letting them hit somewhere they're not used to, is kind of proving difficult for UCLA. And of course, Hugo Fisher, he's a left-handed hitter, which is always something that's a little tricky to block.
And that last one, Spurall was kind of motioning to the refs that he thought there might have been extra touches in there. But another thing that to touch on is watch number 8 Coburn, one of the brothers, when he serves. His serves are immaculate.
Yeah, and in his short time, when he checks in, he's already racked up 6 kills and a hat trick in service aces. Sam Coburn, the setter, is going to come away with a kill. UCLA sideline pumped about that.
The Lopes, they don't want to lose their motivation or their momentum here, because they still have a chance to stay in this match against UCLA. They can't just give it up so easily.
Fisher tipped and blocked right away by McHenry. And it looked like Matotia had a little bit to do with that as well. And Worley wants to talk it over. We're going to send you guys to another break. We're going to be right back here with the conclusion of set number 4. Right around the corner, you're watching men's volleyball right here on GCU TV.
From reimagining the way you work to reassessing what you need, you've changed the way you do business. And now, so have we. With no annual contracts and flexible internet and voice solutions, you'll have what you need to get back to business. Rethink, reconnect, reimagine. Switch to Cox Business today.
Welcome back inside the GCU Arena for some more men's volleyball action. And the Lopes really have to pull something together to stay in this second game matchup against UCLA.
Yeah, the Lopes are going to have to strive for perfection here if they want to inch back up once again to UCLA. They still have a chance to stay in this game. They just need to make sure that they communicate great, cover those holes, and just pop it up and then knock it down.
Yeah, these next few points are very critical to the health of the rest of this set. GCU going to be on the road next week at USC, so they're going to be out in California on the 9th and the 10th before returning home and finishing out their season with a postponed matchup against Concordia. They're going to be in the Antelope Gymnasium for that. The few Havocs that are in here making some noise.
And it's very interesting to see they have kept Weirian and Keishel in, but if you have a chance or if you can see the sideline for GCU at some point, Camden Gianni and Kristen Janke are on the sideline right now, which is very interesting to me.
Yeah, they're normally staples to the team. They're the hallmark outsides of the last 2 seasons. So it's a little bit different to see him on the sidelines, but I think that Trevor Weary and David Keishel really contributed to that last victory set, number 3.
And one of the Coburn brothers dropping down a little dump right there on GCU.
McHenry back to serve. It is 5-13. Weary. Back row Fisher inside the court. That's his 13th kill. He's reaching that 14 kill mark that he had over that weekend that they spent out with Pepperdine. Fisher. Matotia. And Worley
getting
touched that ball. He's like, no, you're not going to get there. Don't even bother. Get right back out there. Coburn with the serve. Weary. Katrinsky with the shank ball. Tried to corral that one, couldn't quite. Weary back to serve. Weary's hitting a .500 with 2 kills on 4 attempts. So good number right there. Parrish from the middle. That's his 9th kill on 10 attempts. Really awesome hitting percentage for him, especially when he's up to the numbers of attempts he has, .700. Fisher, cross court. Matotia pulls it out. Kaczynski, Weary's there. Kyle Thompson, excuse me, from the middle. Some miscommunications up front. Point goes to UCLA at 16, or 7-16.
And Cole Udall was trying to be their lifesaver right there. He was their life vest for a short second, but then could not get it back up once again, and point will be at UCLA.
Keishel, great placement from him. He really found that hole in the block and then the hole in the court. Good decision from him.
And that will make 3 kills for Keishel, who came in during set number 3.
Kyle Thompson with the dig. Keishel trying to go with that off-speed shot. I can see where that would have been a smart decision.
Ian Parrish to serve.
Ian Parrish once again back to serve. Fisher off the block, not retrievable. Lopes still trying to hang in there. They got 9-17. Kevin Coburn, Weary trying to sprawl out for it, couldn't quite get it. It's 9-18.
Or
Kevin Coburn to serve.
Coburn back to serve. Service ace for Kevin Coburn. That's 4 for him. Really dominant on that serving line here today.
again, UCLA finding those gaps and taking advantage. GCU really needs to cover those, as it is 19-9 UCLA.
Back row, Trevor Weary with the back row attack. It is 10-19.
David Keishel to serve.
And Trevor Weary, a really valuable asset in these later sets.
Mentioned Camden and Gianni and Christian Janke are staples, but Trevor Weary and David Keishel are those extra staples on top to support that team.
Hugo Fisher. That's his 15th kill.
Once again, jumping up, approach, down to kill. That poison for UCLA, slowly picking away at that team and earning himself higher kills.
Kaczynski, rejection blocked by Trevor Weary, and looked like Ian McLean might have gotten a little bit of that. And who knows, that looked like a full-on triple block too. I think Hugo Fisher might have had a little bit to do with that as well, but nonetheless, huge turning point plays for the Lopes. We're gonna go ahead and send it to break. We'll be right back here at the conclusion of set number 4. You're watching men's volleyball right here on GCU TV.
How does a chicken sandwich become a Whataburger spicy chicken sandwich? Is it by slathering it in a fiery sauce or adding some crazy hot toppings? Nah. If the chicken in a chicken sandwich wants to be spicy, it has to come from the inside. By marinating it in spices, frying it up, then cooling it off with fresh veggies, all on a new brioche bun. Good thing flavor can come from within. Good thing there's the new limited-time spicy chicken sandwich at Whataburger.
Welcome back inside the GCU Arena, and the Lopes are really trying to crawl their way back into this one. The name of the game is Trevor Weary, having some awesome blocks, great digs, really carrying the team with minimal errors from the service line as well.
Yeah, it's definitely Hugo Fisher and Trevor Weary piggybacking off each other, doing a great job. I love how hyped the team gets, how hyped he gets. It's just a type of energy that GCU needs right now. There was a point to be calm and collected, and there still is, but they need to bring the heat and turn up the energy.
David Keishel to serve.
David Keishel back to serve. Pender's there. Kevin Coburn off the top of the block and out of the reach of the Lopes. UCLA into that 20-point threshold. Kuchansky back to serve. Weary. Hugo Fisher out of bounds, hits that one wide. Point goes to UCLA, it's 12-21.
Cole Kuchansky to serve.
Weary tips it. Matotia sends it over. Ref blows the whistle. They're gonna say, I think it's Hugo Fisher in the net there.
Cole Kuchansky to serve.
That's kind of odd. Normally they put up fingers for the number that the player is, but they just pointed in the direction. So I'm assuming it's Hugo Fisher who is in the net. Ian McLean puts that one inside the court. There was no man in sight over on that cross-court spot. Great decision from him, the redshirt senior.
And we'll have Tanner Petchel to step in, and number 25 on GCU's team steps in for those serves. So let's see what he delivers here.
McHenry from the middle. He's gonna jaunt back and take the serve. It's 13-23.
And Petchel will check back out. Cole coming back in, right there, that fell right in front of Petchel. It seemed like he kind of had a double little toe tap right there and just was not able to read it.
Keishel. Fisher into the block on the Lopes side. And the guys are saying that it was still in play before they whistled.
McHenry to serve.
McHenry back to serve. Hugo Fisher cross court picked up by Kevin Coburn, sent to Kevin Coburn, and back to Kevin Coburn. Man, that's hard to say. Kevin to Sam to Kevin. Coburn brothers, really a great, well-oiled machine offensively. Hugo Fisher back to serve. Sam Coburn sends it out to Austin Matotia. Good pickup by Enriquez. Sent out Trevor Weary. Couldn't keep himself from hanging in the net there. Point goes to UCLA, and just like that, it is set point, game point with 14-24.
Great hustle and bustle as well by Heath Hughes. Leaving it all out there, as we have seen UCLA fans standing up for this one. And one of the brothers to serve.
Hugo Fisher. That's going to be a kill for him. Point goes to Lopes. They're trying to hang on as tight as they possibly can.
Trevor Weary to serve.
Weary back to serve. And Kachensky is going to be the one to end it all for UCLA. We're going to go ahead and send you guys to a quick break. We'll be right back here with the game stats and closing remarks. That was men's volleyball right here on GCU TV.
About time you watched it.
Getting ready to trade it in. What are you doing?
Just a little shopping. Wait, a new truck. Don't you think I should be involved?
Of course. We'll head over to Sanderson Ford as soon as I'm done.
I don't have time today. Hope we're going with 4 doors this time.
Ooh, of course. I know exactly what I want. I mean, we want. A lightning blue Ford F-150 Super Crew with EcoBoost.
All done.
Shop from home, buy from home, we deliver. From the dealer you can trust, Sanderson Ford.
Welcome back inside the GCU Arena. And Marley, there's a lot to unpack in that game. I thought for sure that maybe we'd see them pull out maybe a 4th set and really try and do another reverse sweep, get some sweet revenge. But ultimately, it was David Kieshel and Trevor Weary, the kind of unusual substitutes, but they proved themselves to be staples late in that game.
Trevor Weary, I just love him after watching him during this game. Again, depth is what a team needs in order to find that right combination, and depth is what Trevor Weary added to this team. Unfortunately, it was not enough to take down the UCLA Bruins, but great job by GCU. Unfortunately, they have lost for the 3rd time to UCLA, and they will travel on the road to take on USC. Now let's take a look at those match stats from tonight of UCLA to GCU. On kills, UCLA had 10 more than GCU. UCLA had 53. GCU had 43. Their hitting percent, again, UCLA held GCU pretty well to a .142. UCLA at .256. As you see on the screen, their blocks were 13.5 and 19.5 for GCU, so relatively close in that aspect. And a cumulative overall assists 49, 40, digs 40 and 34. So GCU was able to keep up, but could not pick away enough at the Bruins.
And the Lopes are going to head on the road to take on USC next weekend. We'll see if they can stop the bleeding as far as their 5-game losing streak, pull a few from USC and Concordia when they return. Remember, you can follow Grand Canyon University on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And don't forget to download the Lope Nation app so you can watch all live streams from your mobile device or subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GCU. So tune in for our next live streams as the Lopes will be back. It's softball. They're taking on Dixie State next Friday. That'll be an exciting game to tune in for. Maybe even consider attending in person as they've opened up capacity to outsiders. And also, don't forget to tune in next time we're at home when the guys take on Concordia Irvine on April 16 at 6 p.m. inside the Antelope Gymnasium, a little bit of a different venue there. So on behalf of Marley Thompson, I'm Dinah Johnson saying have a great Saturday and the rest of your weekend. Happy Easter, and as always, go Lopes.